Alright, we are here to talk about Knights of the Damned, which is a movie I picked up a few years back for basically nothing. I think I saw it was cheap and I was like, done, I'm sold. Yeah, I can see why it's cheap. It is, I'll be honest, not a very good movie. Unfortunately, just, yeah. So you kind of have like main heroes on the front cover there. The kind of the knights, they have no chemistry as characters. This is all, or should I say this is all like fantasy. Yeah, it's not like it's not like a, kind of medieval times. It has the look of medieval times, but it's a fantasy world. But yeah, there's a bunch of like different kingdoms and everything. They're all fighting. Well, we only ever see like 2. Supposed to be like 12, and there's like we see like 2 mainly. Yeah, and the knights have fucking no chemistry. As characters, they just have they're saying stuff, and it's just like they're just as characters, they just don't have any like kind of proper like chemistry at all between them, and it's just like, yeah, they're not great. They're just really not great characters for some reason. So it starts off with like, I might get into spoilers. I don't think it really matters, but if you do care, don't check it out. And just say that for anyone. It's not worth it. Yeah, so they have. Starts off with 4 of them. They get attacked by a dragon. I'm not quite sure why, so I will go into spoilers for later on. There's a dragon egg that has been taken, but why the dragon went after these knights, I don't remember hearing anything about that. They're like, oh, that's weird. And then later on we get just like, oh, the stole a dragon egg, so I guess they just went after random humans for some reason. I don't know. But one of them dies. They don't seem that heartbroken about it, I'll be honest. His characters are just like, they don't even bury the fucking guy. I was like, meh, on the next one. I mean, give him like a Viking funeral or something. Like, burn the body, bury the body, do something. They just kind of leave it on the coast and was like, well, see you later. So he comes back as a zombie. Zombies are a thing in this. It's what the Knights of the Damned. Which doesn't quite make sense, but I guess kind of. So the 2 main like royalty we see in this is one, like a sister who's the kind of princess who's kind of, a good character, and a brother who is Rapey McRaperson. Pretty sure he would fuck his own sister. That kind of character. Just like the kind of worst kind of character, and he seems to be responsible for these zombies. For whatever he seems to be working with whatever kind of crazy cult. We don't, and I think in this movie we don't really get into it at all. I don't think we even get into it in the sequel. I will say this movie and has a sequel, which I'd say is kind of more of a midquel. I'll get into this at some point, or next week when I do the review. But yeah, that's kind of a midquel to like a trilogy, and there is no like 3rd film. So if you're hoping for any finality, think again. There is no finality to this. There was talk of a sequel, but that was years ago. I looked up and was like, oh yeah, this is just not happening. There's no way this is happening. Like, as a sequel, that's just dead. Now, I could be proved wrong, but I don't think it will be. So I'm just like, doesn't really go anywhere. We have zombies, which is cool. I don't mind zombies in a fantasy setting. No, I don't really see any good fights with zombies. Don't really see any gore. This feels like a kind of movie that we would see like we don't see much gore, just very basic stuff. The effects on those also not good. Also the effects on the dragon not good. None of it's like it's not. It's very average, like in terms of stuff where I'm just like, and there's nothing in this film that really like sticks out as like either like really bad good or kind of there's not really much that I'm like, oh, that's great. Yeah, I've always just like, I kind of like, as a bad guy I kind of like the bad guy. Like as a villain I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of villain I like. I'm gonna fucking see him die, but that doesn't happen. Kind of gets away at the end and you're like, oh well, bugger me. So that's disappointing. They do so. One of our 3 remaining knights does get bitten, and kind of covers up for a bit, and then is ultimately like corrupted, and he kind of portrays him for a little bit, like in the middle of the film, kind of overcomes it, but then again portrays him later on, and then ends up dying. We do meet up with a couple of like these kind of female warriors from another land. They're pretty cool. They do end up in a bar fight. I do feel bad that there's one guy who basically gets, like, I think thrown to the floor by a woman in one bit. Her girlfriend makes fun of him, and then basically sees his own girlfriend get like fucking just full on chopped by a dragon. I'm like, give this guy a break. This poor guy basically gets insulted and in a bar, and then gets his own girlfriend fucking gets eaten. Like, ah, the poor guy. Just kind of feel bad. Like initially you're like, this guy's a bit of an arsehole. Then I'm like, yeah, but no, his own girlfriend gets eaten. Like, what the fuck? Come on. Yeah, like I said, the knights kind of travel for quite a bit. Tavern stuff, diddle-a-dee. Always gotta have a tavern. It's a fantasy film. Fantasy anything, you gotta have a tavern. That's just the law. And then eventually we basically meet up with the princess, who her brother has like kind of already gone, fuck this shit, I'm out. He's seen all the zombies, the zombies approaching, and the dragon, and all the shenanigans. And the final showdown. Well, I say final showdown. They kind of just go, fuck this shit, I'm out. Do they offer the so I'm also just trying, no, they do offer the egg to the dragon, but then also the dragon just ends up destroying the fucking castle at the end. And that's kind of where, the film ends. Like I said, this film does have a sequel, but that does not really resolve many of the plot points. So, yeah. It's one of those things where I'm like, it's kind of a bit average. There's no real like sequel to it, and I'm like, I can't really recommend this as a film. I do appreciate that there's actual bonus features, which, good. I don't know who gave it a 4-star review. Someone gave it a 4-star review. Hellhole. It sounds about right for this film. What? Who said that? It's not worth watching. Honestly, just... Nah. That's basically it. Yeah, I think I'll sign off here. I haven't really got much else to say. Other than live long and prosper. And we'll see you next time for Dragon Kingdom. I've seen a few things refer to it as Dark Kingdom. I think that's a working title. Everything else says Dragon Kingdom, which would make more sense for the last film, but whatever. Anyway, bye.